Welcome to the Say Yes Movement podcast with Heather, John, and Janet. I'm so excited to have Janet here, where we're going to help you with your professional and personal growth, helping you say yes to all the scary stuff. Well, Janet, welcome to the podcast. And let me just do a quick bio intro before we kick off. But Janet Omstead is the author, elite behavior change health coach, speaker, and play expert. And we're definitely going to dive into that today. She's also the director for Red January, an initiative she's bringing to Canada from the UK. I don't know why UK has been showing up for me. Maybe it's this Ted Lasso thing. I know. With over 20 years of experience in the health and wellness industry, strength lies in working with individuals and corporate clients to make sustainable progress towards optimal health while having fun. And I love that. Having fun is so important. Janet is on a mission to reignite the world's passion for play to fight chronic disease while improving the quality of our life as we age. Well, welcome to the podcast, Janet.
Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to this.
Janet, we are so excited to have you. And let me tell you, timing is perfect. Look what just arrived in the mail. This is fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
This is Janet's book, The Playbook, How to Get into the Habit of Good Health. So I am excited to open this. Actually, I already opened this up and started just grabbing some tidbits. And I think that's the best way sometimes to read a book first, is just open it up and say, all right, what's the message of the day? So thank you for taking the time to write this book, but also for sending me a copy. I am so excited. So this is on Amazon. You can order it, The Playbook, for sure. So Janet, we love to start our Fridays off with a celebration moment. And we do this every single Friday. And our audience, you guys know the drill. We want to celebrate with you and for you and together, because we know when we reprogram our brain to look for the good stuff, then we can definitely find the good stuff. And so we spend time celebrating. So what are you celebrating for your success this week?
Well, I love that you start your show off like this. It's fantastic. It's a great way to, what do I call it with my coaching? It's the bright spots. So the bright spots for my week, there's been many, but the one thing that I really wanted to share was that I hosted all my girlfriends from high school for a Christmas party, and I haven't been able to do that for a few years. And I was so excited because we do a Secret Santa, and I love Secret Santa. It's all about stealing gifts, and we don't spend. It's not about the price. It's about how creative people can get. And I actually won. Can you see that?
What is that, a microphone?
Karaoke microphone. I am so excited. I'm going to a dinner party on our street this weekend. I'm breaking this out. It's coming out. I can't wait.
Oh my God. Like, what is a karaoke microphone? I don't even know what that is. Like, it's
so it wirelessly connects to your phone, and you can pull up any song and just start singing along.
Oh,
how great is that?
I know. Okay, Christmas presents. Here we go. Now I love that. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is fantastic. Yeah. And getting together with girlfriends from just bonds from so long ago, it's just fantastic. So I love that, and that the power of community is really what you're highlighting. Is it doesn't matter what's happening in our lives, we can always find time to find our community and get together. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It was really fun. Really fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. John, what are you celebrating this week?
Yeah, no, listen. And this week, I had to think about this. I went out for my 30 minutes of movement this morning, which I normally do, and I got out and I got to do my walk, which was really nice. And while I was walking, I'm thinking, what am I celebrating today? What am I celebrating this week? And I went through a whole list of things, but what I ended up landing on was our goal setting and reflection workshop that we had yesterday. I'm so excited that we got to bring that to the world. We got to share. And I think I'm going to include a replay. So if people want to watch a replay, just drop it in the comments below and I will share the replay with you. But just bringing that to the world. I know we did a goal setting reflection workshop last year, but this year I feel like it was different. And just from the people that were interacting with us, it was different. So yeah, I'm celebrating that and just bringing that to the world and being able to share that with everybody. Heather, what are you celebrating today?
You know what? This week has been so amazing, from a community connection, eating really delicious food. So I was at an event where we learned how to cook. We'll actually make a bunch of dips. I made these dips that were so delicious, and I can't believe I made these. So that was amazing. Our workshop was amazing. Last night, catching up with friends, I had Ethiopian food for the first time. That was fantastic. So I don't know. I think this week is my food week. So I definitely have to, get out and do my rise every day and my play moments because I got to get more movement in, but I can eat more good food because I love good food. So I'm celebrating.
It's all about balance. It's all about balance.
Exactly. It's really fun to be celebrating all of those things. And, again, for those of you that are listening, we want to celebrate with you. So tell us what your wins for the week are. We'd love to celebrate with you. So, but while we're waiting for those to come in, Janet, I want to hear about your Say Yes movement story. So the Say Yes movement podcast is all about getting people to say yes to something that scares them so much that they are almost stopping their feet. But once they say yes to doing it, wow, does their life ever change? And we would love to hear your Say Yes movement story. So share with us.
Yeah, thank you for that. There have been many, but the most recent, I would have to say, my say yes moment was a little bit scary. And I think for a lot of people, the saying yes part can be scary. So 2 years ago, I actually wouldn't have believed everything that's happening today was going to be possible because my husband was diagnosed with AML leukemia at 56 years old, which is a really horrible, horrible blood disease. And my career was going well. Everything, was humming along. I had a thriving practice. I had different groups I was involved in. And with that diagnosis, I had to put my entire life on hold, which is exactly what I wanted to do, of course, and needed to do. But that was really scary because I have a Monday morning group that I kept showing up on and saying, I don't know what the other side of this is going to be. I don't know if I will ever go back to what I was able to do. I don't know what my life is going to look like. And I just, I put all my time and energy into helping him through his bone marrow transplant and recovering. And as I had to literally press the pause button, I reflected on, okay, so what is it that when I do, because I'm an optimist, I live with a lot of gratitude. And I thought, when I do get back to what I love, how am I going to show up? Will I be the same? Well, of course not. You don't go through something like that and be the same. Or how am I going to show up differently and make a bigger impact? What can I do while I am helping him? What is in my power? What do I have control of? Of course, I have control of my mindset. And that's about it. So I reached out to some really important people in my life. I said, okay, I can still write. I write a weekly blog called The Play of the Week. I can talk on podcasts. I can connect with people. And so that made me take a little bit of control back and feel like, okay, yes, I am going to get through this. And he's now 21 months old. I have a toddler in my house. No, I'm kidding. He's 21 months post bone marrow transplant, and he's thriving. And I was able to take a step back and welcome opportunities on the other side of this that I don't know if I ever would have gone after had I not really had to step back and think, okay, how am I going to show up differently? And what can I do that's going to make a bigger impact? And that's when I approached Hannah from Red January in the UK and said, would you consider bringing this incredible movement, Rise Every Day, through the month of January, an incredible campaign to inspire people to move their way every day? And she said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh. It just was truly like, yeah, it's changed my life. And I don't wish for anybody to go through caregiving for their better half or their family. But I think to your point, John, about Ted Lasso, I do believe. And here I am.
Yeah.
Wow. There's so much to pull out of that story. That is just unbelievable. But it also, yesterday, me and John, we did a workshop, and one of the key concepts is that oftentimes we don't get into motion until we have extreme emotion happening. And so this is, I love when you said, I don't think I would have done this. I wouldn't have taken this path, because who wants to take the hard path, especially as hard as that, not knowing what the other side is going to look like. So one, I want to congratulate you for that. But this concept of emotion driving motion, we don't need to wait for the hard things to happen. We can actually create that ourselves. And I want to get back to Red January, but John, I know you've got a question brewing as well for her.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks, Heather. No, there, as you were saying that, there had to be a moment, right? Like, I'm always interested in, what was that moment where you decided, I needed to take action today? I need to do something right now. Because, one of the things that both Heather and I talk about is there's always that pivotal moment. There's always that, there's that moment that says, you know what, this is where I change, right? And as I was listening to your story, the one question I had for you was, what was that one moment? When did you know you were going down the right path? When did you know you need to pivot or go on a different path?
Through his bone marrow transplant and that whole journey, probably the moment I knew I needed to pivot was when there was an opportunity for him to come out the other end better himself. And I thought, well, why can't I be better myself? Right? And why not me? I think we all live sometimes in a state of disbelief or fear, or that person in your brain that can set you up for thinking, well, I'm not good enough, or I'm not, strong enough, or, then it's like, well, wait a minute. Life is long, but life is short, right? And when you can figure that in that moment, you could control something and it could be better on the other end, that's probably a month or two into his journey. I was like, you know what? He's of course he's going to be okay, and I'm going to thrive. And that's how it's going to be. I had no doubt, and I really did believe that.
Yeah, no, I love it. Listen, just the belief, right? Like, just knowing that I'm going to be okay, right? Like, there's a line that I use, and I think I've heard it, and I'm sure we have all heard it at some point. This too shall pass. And on the other side of it, yeah, right. So good or bad, this too shall pass. So, as you're going through that, I felt, or what I heard from you is like, yeah, and how many of us get stuck in the moment, like, this is never going to end, right? Like, there's that perpetual loop of, this is never going to end. It's always going to be like this. There is what I heard in you, like in what you just said, was there was that glimmer of hope. And with that glimmer of hope, I could take that next step. And it's also giving yourself the permission to take that next step.
Big time.
Right?
And I also come from a place of gratitude. I'm really grateful that I could help him. And I'm really grateful we have an incredible family and wonderful friends. And that Michael J. Fox wrote, with gratitude, optimism is sustainable.
Yeah.
And I really believe that. And what a better example than Michael J. Fox, honestly. But I really was optimistic, because I was grateful that I as hard as it was, trust me, it was not fun. But that, I'm optimistic for greater things.
Yeah.
The other thing that's coming up for me, Jen, as I hear your story, is you had a pivotal moment of, what is my purpose? That question of, what is my purpose? And you were going from, what your normal life was, your life before, and then, okay, now I have to create this new purpose. And you took your control back by asking yourself some really powerful questions. What can I do? You must have had moments where you felt that helpless, because when something as traumatic as this happens in our lives, where it's not in our control, we often just give up to it. Okay, well, I can't control anything if I can't control this one thing. And you knew that wasn't true, although it's overwhelming thought that comes into your head, I would imagine, at moments. But you just use gratitude as one of the combat ways, and also these powerful questions. What can I do? What do I have the power to do? Where did that come from? Where did that strength come from? Where did it sit in your body? My God, I love this.
Oh, thank you. The mindset piece, the what I can control, really comes from my training as a coach. I see lots of my clients that come, and there's like, this is happening and this is happening. Oh my gosh, like the overwhelm and the spinning, right? And then we just peel it back, right? We peel it back to, okay, yep, you can't control the weather, and you can't control the traffic, and you can't control your kids, and you can't control there's a lot that is out of our control, but there's something called the spheres of control in behavior change. And when you really peel like an onion back to the fundamental thing you can control, can I go for a walk out the front door for 5 minutes? Is that going to help me? Finding the positive habits that I could put in place. Okay, like, can I go to bed a little bit earlier? Can I write thank you notes to my friends? There was just things I had time to do that I don't necessarily have time to do in my normal days. And I just, that it really comes from the spheres of control, and how it really sheds a light on just this moment right now.
Well, what I'm hearing in all of that is just you being present to what was happening. Right. And I think a lot of us, we get caught up with everything that's happening around us that we forget just to be present. And, I love the fact that you had that opportunity, and, and being present helps you see a new path, right? It helps, just like when we say yes, we get to see things in front of us that we didn't see before because we're just present and we're aware of that. Love that.
Yes. 100%. And wow, that's like, it's very true. I also have a morning ritual that I had put in place prior to him being sick that I kept showing up for, because it was very grounding for me, speaking of being present. So I do have a little morning ritual. It's nothing fancy. It's not like,
well, share. You got to share. You got to share it with us. Come on, Janet.
So I take the Headspace app. I listen to the Headspace, which is for meditation. I'm not a meditation guru, but man, speaking of being present, that is what being in Headspace in a meditation does for you. It just grounds you, and it makes you very present, and it's about awareness. And that is a keystone habit for me in the morning. And then I listen to my affirmations. I have a vision board, which is a huge piece of, it's on my phone, it's under photos, and it just plays music and shows me pictures. And I love that piece. And then I read my morning passage from a book that has a little passage every day. It's not religious based. It's just a thought provoking thing. And then I journal 1 page. That's it. I stop at a page, and I'm consistent probably 80% of the time, which is good enough for me. But it really, that practice has really changed my life into, I think, really being able to be so like feeling in control of what was going on despite everything.
That is an extremely powerful morning ritual, one that we advocate all the time to our clients and to our listeners. And for those listening, you can just choose one of those things
exactly
to start with your morning ritual. So a meditation, a journaling exercise, affirmations, looking at photos that inspire you to take action and create that emotion in you. This is all, and I think that you just summarized our call to action for our audience. What is that one thing that you're going to do? And I think the one thing is pick something from Janet's morning ritual and choose it for your morning ritual. Now you can go crazy and go for all of those things, but Janet is an expert at this. So that might not be where you start.
It did take me time. You're right.
Yeah,
it took me time to build up to that and adjust. I love to play outside every day. It's like the foundation of who I am as a being. But I intentionally set this practice in place because it has nothing to do with those things. Sometimes I stretch, sometimes, and to your point, Heather, like even if it's 30 seconds of journaling, like just set a timer and do one thing. It's
100%,
powerful and be consistent.
We're running out of time. Oh my God, I could talk forever about this, but I want to do another conversation about Red. You mentioned it earlier. This is Red January. Tell us a little bit about this. Who can join? How do we do this? What's the next steps?
Sure. Awesome. Happy to share. So Red January, Red stands for Rise Every Day. And it's a way to make real changes, not just New Year's resolutions. It is a movement that's 8 years old in the UK and it's coming to Canada. I believe you've already signed up as a team, but basically you're setting yourself a daily movement challenge for the month. And it can be different every day. It doesn't mean you go and hurt yourself or, sweat. I'm encouraging people. This movement is about connecting with someone in a movement. So I don't know, meet a friend to go for a swim or a bike or a hike, or you pick, right? The possibilities are endless because it's why I love it. Sorry, is because it's for all Canadians, all ages, all abilities, which matters a lot, and help boost your physical, mental, and social well-being. And I just can't wait to grow this over the next couple of years with our charitable partner, who is the Genwell Project, and they are Canada's human movement connection movement. Sorry, and they really inspire people to meet face to face. So when you meet with someone, of course, you can do this alone. There's a huge community, so don't feel you don't have to sign up if you feel that you can't. It's welcome for everybody, but more powerful when you intentionally plan to play with a friend.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
we're gonna put the link in the comments, and we have a Say Yes Movement team. So like Jan said, don't do it alone. Join the Say Yes Movement team, and we will do it together. We've got one of our listeners saying, I walk daily. I think it might fit me. No, it does fit you. We're going to play together in January. So Rise Every Day. We'll put the link in the comments. John, we are out of time. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can't believe we're already here. So wow. Janet, sorry.
That was amazing.
Is Rise in the US or is it just Canada and the UK right now?
So Canada is the first country outside the UK. I know there's plans to roll things forward globally, but right now we get to be first.
All right, we get to be first. So you can still join our team even if you're in the US.
Anywhere.
Find a
yes,
buddy.
anywhere.
Yeah, find a buddy and okay.
There are no borders when you sign up.
Yeah.
And there's no cost.
There's no cost. Yeah. So just visit the website. We'll share the link with you once we have it, and join a team. Join the Say Yes team. We'd love to have you be a part of that. And Jason just wanted to pop in and say good morning. Okay, I can't believe we're already here. End of time. Wow. Thank you again for listening in. And Janet, thank you for being our guest on the Say Yes Movement podcast. For those of you that are listening, thank you for listening and celebrating with us. Take your celebrations and go forward with them. Share it with other people. Create that positive mindset where you get to look at things from a celebration perspective. All right, so that brings us to the end of the Say Yes Movement podcast. Just remember, when you shift your mindset, you shift your life. Wishing you all a great one. Take care, everybody.
Bye.